Just in case you were wondering, I don't make monkeys. I just train them on the road to 40. That's right, folks. I'm Jason Oliver, in case you didn't know. This is my nightly vlog where I talk about just about whatever I want to talk about. Well, I kind of hit a brick wall tonight. I've been hitting brick walls a lot lately. We had some great shows, didn't we? A lot of interesting topics. As a friend of mine at work asked me what my favorite episode was. And it kind of hit me, like, I was just like, I don't know. I know they're all from about at least a month ago, though. I think the bear episode, that was just a day that presented itself with something to talk about. Today, I don't have much. I actually ended up just doing a search. I was going to talk about the House of the Future again, but not from the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s cartoons. Probably not even 80s, probably 50s, 60s, 70s. I really think there will come a day when walls, ceilings, and floors in certain rooms will be nothing more than screens. I believe at some point in the very near future, we will come up with a way to add smell to the whole entertainment experience. And I think that automation will just take off. Like, you'll be given, your phone will be your ID card, basically. When you walk into your house, it knows what time of year it is, what temperature you want it, what music you want to hear, how you want the lighting, where you want to be in the world. Because at this point, if you have LED walls and the ability to project air through them and stuff, you can be anywhere in the world. You could be the Swiss Alps, you know what I mean? And hell, you could have it that temperature if you want. If you got a fireplace, you know. I guess that's the only thing that really does hinder things. Is furniture would have to be built with chips, kind of like touch phone screens, so that when, like, you know, like the leg of a couch came down, like, it sensed it, and it would know that it's a couch from IKEA or whatever. But I don't think that technology is that far off. Do I want a world like that? I guess for people who would enjoy it, yeah, I've got no problem with it. It's not the future I see for myself. I definitely see myself in a very small house on a very big piece of land. Something that's easy to just seal up and leave for 6, 7, 8 months, a year at a time, go see another country. Carol and I have really been talking more and more about, getting out of the country, not just staying here. None of us are happy with it. I mean, obviously the news spins things to project things at people so that it relays the information it feels you deserve or how they want you to feel. Really, that's what it comes down to. Is if I own a newspaper and I know 50 people read the newspaper and I see an injustice going on based on my opinion, I'm going to try to sway my readers to feel the way I feel. I guess when at the heart of it, that's fine. But it's not really news. It's just kind of pushing you in a direction, scaring you. Like Ebola. I was at Hallmark today. This is how crazy it is. Like, I didn't think it had gotten this crazy, but it's gotten this crazy. There was 2 older women. Well, I guess it was older women. And by the way, the reason why I'm at Hallmark is it's going out of business. It's the one on Boonesboro Road in Lynchburg, Virginia. So everything's 50 to 75% off. Lots of good deals, good stuff. If you like stuff, or you need cards or something, or Christmas ornaments, most of them are 75% off. This year's are 50% off. I don't know why I'm doing a commercial for them. I'm not a huge Hallmark fan. I like Hallmark, but shit. These 2 women, they start talking. I'm overhearing them, and they're in their line. I won't be doing any traveling. They need to stop these nurses who have had contact from getting on planes and boats, and I'm not going to be traveling anytime soon. I'm staying right here at home. Like, they're really freaking out over this, these 2. And they weren't, older. They were in their 60s, maybe. That's not that old. I have to say that now because I'm almost 40. And then I'll be 50, and then I'll be dead. Well, hopefully I'll be a lot older than that. Anywho, it was just crazy for me to hear that, to experience it out in the world. It can't just, it's not like a common cold. It's not airborne. It's not like, you'd have to sneeze in somebody's mouth, or you'd have to breathe in someone's sneeze. It doesn't stay alive on things long enough for it to matter. And even if it did, it's killed by easy, simple, wipes and stuff like that. It's like, it's not that crazy. And even if you do get it, there's a good chance, well, at least 50 to 60% chance, I believe it is, that you'll survive. And here in this country, your odds are a lot higher than in West Africa. Like, in West Africa, it's a problem because they can't supply the needs of the people. Clean water, the ability to disinfect things. And so it runs rampant. And they don't have the money for the doctors and so on and so forth. So, I picked up a bottle of Kapali today, and when I came back inside tonight to bring it in, I forgot to bring it in. The whole bottle was covered in it. I was like, shit. But it didn't pour out, and it wasn't like that when I bought it. So enough of it must have got out to coat the entire outside of the bottle, but I can't explain how that happened without it all just pouring out. The cap was sealed. There was no crack in the bottle or anything like that. It was annoying, and it pissed me off, but anywho, I went with a cheaper bottle. If you have the option, I don't know if these are nationwide. Like, I sometimes wonder, like beers, obviously, anything they advertise is usually nationwide to a certain degree, or at least East Coast, West Coast. East Side motherfucking hardcore. Shit. Advertising. Ebola. Man, you gotta hate when that happens. My brain just well, anywho, Kapali. Oh yeah, I was wondering if Kapali is something you can get in Massachusetts. Like, obviously there's discount versions. Like, you have Stop and Shop up north. You have Shaw's. You have Trukey's, which is smaller. You might just have that in Taunton. But down here we have Food Lion, Kroger, and that's it for where I live, or Walmart, within 10 miles of me. There's no like Harris Teeter. Oh, we do have Fresh Market, but that doesn't really count. I guess it does. So the House of Tomorrow would be really interesting. I just don't think I see it in my future, because I think by the time something like that's available and affordable for po motherfuckers like me, then I don't think it'll be something I want anymore. As it is, we cleaned out one room in our house today, and I think we're going to go to the attic eventually and start pulling things down to one room in the house and do with whatever we pull down. If we're going to keep it, rebox it, and like just get generic Tupperware, good Tupperware, but get a lot of it, and just put it in Tupperware. And then if we're going to sell it, then sell it. Get it on Craigslist or eBay, or have a yard sale, or bring it to my work if I can sell it there. If not, donate it. I'll donate it to Goodwill right down the street from our house. I just want to whittle down to have as little as possible. I look around, and I've said this the other night. I've said this the other night. I have way too many books. I buy books, or I bought books based on my desire to attain that knowledge. But I don't have the time nor the desire to invest any more time into it. I don't have any more time to invest into it. I just don't right now. I mean, there may come a day, and if that day comes, I mean, I'm sure I can get it on my phone. I'm sure I can get it on a tablet. I've got some laptops. I've got a computer. I'll always have a computer and an internet connection, most likely. Even if it's a weak signal, I would like to still have that. Other than that, I think I can deal with a lot of modern conveniences. Running water, hot water would be nice. Solar power just to run like a fridge, a stove, or not even a stove. I mean, most of the things I enjoy eating, I would rather just eat over an open fire anyway. I'm really into those survival shows. Not that I want to be that far off the grid, but I look at them sometimes. I was watching one. I can't remember what it was. It was not a competition one, but one where they go out in the woods for like a certain amount of time and have to survive. And these people are supposed to be survival professionals, and I'm watching it, and I'm thinking, holy shit, they're doing everything wrong. Like, that's how well I feel more comfortable in my skills now. Could I start a friction fire if I absolutely had to? Within 2 or 3 days, yes, I think I could. I have the knowledge. I know how to build a bow drill. I know how to capture an ember. I know how to stoke a fire. I know how to prep your tinder and everything before you do it. I know how to. Have I ever successfully done it? No. Have I created smoke? Yes. But if put in that situation where you have 12 hours to focus on something, whether it be shelter or whatever. I don't know how I got on the subject, by the way. Let me read a few of these questions. I'm just saying that I think my survival skills, though I've never tested them, are probably better than half of the people I saw on those shows. I was just like, wow, really? You can't, like you're in the middle of a swamp and you find a little island and you make a camp on it, like without getting yourself up off of the ground. Or like, there's tons of snakes everywhere. You don't just sleep on the ground in the middle of a swamp. And if it rains, it rises up. There goes your swamp, your fire, whatever. Oh, it's just maddening to me that people could be that stupid and call themselves survival experts and train primitive skills. I couldn't train primitive skills. I don't call myself a survivalist. However, I can guarantee you I could do better than they did. Even though I am probably 30 pounds overweight, require a lot more energy. I would love to do it, actually, as a matter of fact, because I might lose like 40 pounds without trying. Anywho, if you had godlike powers for one day, what would you do with them? We've had other questions like this similar on the show, but being able to choose a superpower or something like that. This is different, though. You could change the course of history. You could remold the world in the image that you chose. The sad thing is that people do what they want to do for the most part, without concern of who it's going to affect somebody else. I'm not saying everyone. I'm saying probably the majority, though. It's probably close. There's probably a lot of good people in the world. There's a lot of people that probably just don't care. They're just living their life day to day. You could probably break that into a 33% across the board. I bet. I don't know. I might be wrong. There might be more good people than bad people. There might be more neutral people than either of them. I don't know. I'm just saying 33%. With that, mind you, when I talk about godlike powers, I mean omnipotent. You have all the power and you are all seeing. So you can see the heart of men. You can see good men, you can see bad men. You can take all those bad people and put them somewhere. I'm not saying hell. Just saying like an island. Let them duke it out. You know what? If that's how they want to live, then let them live that way. Take all the people who want to make people smile and make themselves better the following day than they were the day before. Take all those people and spread them out over the course of over the rest of the world, and let them live and let them commune or integrate however they choose. That ultimately, I'd like to do that. I'd remove any natural disasters. See, this is what separates me. Here we go. I just locked in. We're locked in tight now. This is what separates me from what people claim is God, especially the Christian faith. You got to go to the heart of it. I think one of the fundamental questions that started me down the path of questioning is, if there is a God, first of all, why did he even create? Like, if he's an artist, then that's wonderful. He did it for art. Then just say that. Say we're all a big piece of art. That's fine. I'm happy with that. But if I was God, if I was the only individual in pure blackness or wherever I was hanging out, and I would take those powers and I would do nothing but good, like, or at least from my point of view. Maybe that's the problem. I only see it from my point of view and not his, if there is a his or a her or whatever. The fact of the matter is just like, I wouldn't just create life. I mean, art and life are two different things to a certain degree. I guess they're the same thing too. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk about that one on another show. Can't talk. But I would definitely separate the good and evil. If I was in position one and there was nothing out there and I had to, for whatever reason, create people and planets and solar systems and galaxies and universes, then I would do everything in my power to not make things bad. I guess the problem is we are just a disease on this planet. If we were created and we were given free will, then I guess this is what you can expect. I mean, don't blame me. It's your fault. I don't know. That's a tough one, though, because I think about free will, and I wouldn't take that away from anybody. So in that case, in today's day and age, where we are and exist today, I would try to remove as much bad from the world as possible. Diseases, hunger, homelessness, like what I've been talking about for the last 197 episodes. I would, do away with the whole money situation, or if we had to deal with money, everybody would make more enough to survive and be happy financially. I'm not talking about emotionally or anything like that. But those are small things if you're talking about someone with godlike powers. Maybe I'd move Hawaii a little bit closer to the United States. Just a little bit. Not too much. I don't know. Why would I? I don't know. Just for fun. I'd spin it around. I'd move islands around so that you wouldn't know where the fuck you were going. That's what I'd do. I would mess with people. I probably would. And then I would show up and be like, hey, so here's just me all along. But I would certainly make myself known. That would be like, all right, this is what separates the Buddhist monk and me from the ego. All right. I went to go see Buddhist monks do this beautiful sand mandala. It took them 3, 4, 5 days to do this. I saw my friend Chris Cohen did it in time lapse. Friend, I guess I can call him a friend. And it was pretty neat to sit there and just silence and watch them do their thing and leave and go to work or whatever. But at the end of the week, they just dump it in the fucking river. What the fuck? Like, now you're just being stupid. Like, okay. No, you're not stupid. You're beautiful, peace-loving individuals. I totally respect that. But why do you have to, like, I know this is one of your things. Like, I guess that's why you do it. But for me, the man in me, I create art to share with the world. Like, I like to write songs, and I hope people like listening to them. I like to draw pictures, and I hope people like to look at them. Do you understand? I'm doing this to a certain degree as an art form. I'm expressing my day, who I am, what I love, what I hate, what hurt me, what made me smile. You know what I mean? And so, to me, art is something I don't want to see. I don't know. It's a work. It's a body of work. It's a. Maybe it's not a physical thing. Yes, maybe it will burn in a fire one day. That's fine. Maybe it will get washed away down the river against my will. But I just don't understand why. I don't get the whole idea of just spending 3 days on something like that, creating something beautiful, and then just throwing it in the river. Like, I don't know. Like, they could have shared that with other people. They shared it those 3 days, and I'm sure people got pictures and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just don't get it. I can't get beyond that hurdle. I don't know. I don't think I'm wrong either. I think that's an opinion thing. I don't think you could be either right or wrong on that. I mean, I love just about everything else that they stand for and believe in. But would I call myself a Buddhist? Probably not. Would I call myself a Christian? No. Would I call myself a follower of Christ and Buddha's teachings? Yes. And that's all that matters to me. And if it matters more to you something else, then that's fine. But to me, the most important thing is following a teaching, believing in something. I don't want to be told that I have to believe something exactly as everyone else believes it to get to paradise. That's just not for me, man. And if I'm wrong, yeah, maybe it'll suck. Well, it could suck from multiple. Wait, what if Islam is right? You think about that? Think about that for a minute. What 10 minutes? John Oliver keeps knocking them out of the park. I wish I could write as well as he writes, or at least relay information as well as he does. He was talking about how interpreters in Afghanistan are having a very hard time getting visas to live in the United States, and because of it, it's causing problems in these people's life. This one individual, Muhammad, who left, he was helping British forces to come help the United States. He signed a contract and was told that he could get citizenship in the United States. if he went through the right courses. Well, John Oliver goes into much better detail than I will here. You should watch it. And it took him like 3.5 years. His father was killed by people who opposed what he did by helping the U.S. forces. They kidnapped his younger brother, and he had to pay $35,000 to get him back. I mean, imagine. No religion too, my friends. Imagine it. I don't know what I would do with my godlike powers, but I would certainly make myself known. If you're omnipotent and omnipresent and omnipowerful, you can be everywhere at the same time and have cosmic powers, and it's just great. I'm going to subscribe to that. I'll take some cosmic powers, please. And behind door number 1, we have a silver surfboard. Alright, I'll let you guys go. 20 minutes. This is impressive. This went from I had nothing to talk about tonight to I could literally keep talking for the next hour, I think. If you had a chance to talk to anyone alive or dead, who would it be and who would you talk to? I'd really like to talk to Adam Duritz. I think I'd like to get into his head a little bit more. The Counting Crows, I learned something today about them. Or yesterday, I watched a live concert, and it was cool seeing Adam and the band interact with the crowd. And it became far more personal, and I thought, wow, I'd really like to know this guy. Like, he seems like he's definitely got some issues, but every song he writes, this is why I like them so much, paints a picture of either A, somewhere I have been, somewhere I am right now, or somewhere I hope to be in a certain amount of time. Like, very well. I listened to a song like Palisades Park, and I remember growing up and going to Rocky Point. For me, that's my Palisades Park. However, I would love to have grown up in the 70s in California and like late 60s. I think that's when I should have been born and when I should have been, alive. Alive or dead, Jesus, certainly. I'd like to get that whole situation cleared up. Jim Morrison, I think I'd like to talk to him. A lot of people just don't give him credit and think he's just, I don't know, maybe he is a moron. I have no idea. I'd like to meet him, though, and then decide for myself. Maybe Bon Jovi, too. He seems like a nice guy. Okay. Yeah, let's just leave it at this. If you could only eat 4 foods, where do you see the world in 50 years, 100 years? We've already done a lot of these on our own without needing this stupid web page. Alright, anywho. It's weird having so much suddenly to talk about when literally like half hour ago I was like dreading this. I was thinking, man, I don't got anything to say to them tonight. I want to. Alright, kids. You're up past your bedtime. Go to bed. Well, I am. You're probably not. This could be any time. Isn't that a funny thing? This might be 50 years from now that you're watching it from when it was recorded. Who knows? Who knows what these little sign-offs might have an impact on later on when I'm long gone. When my art has burned to the ground. That's nice. When my art has burned to the ground. If you're loving these, like I'm loving making them, please subscribe and pass them along to anybody who you know who might like watching them. Follow me on the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram. I'm at Jason at just about everywhere you go, or Jason, Geycen. Yeah, that's me. Don't forget to make somebody smile tomorrow. Make yourself a better person tomorrow than you were today. Tomorrow. I mean it. Both of those, I mean it. Make somebody you don't know smile tomorrow. Make somebody's day better, brighter. Sing and dance in the rain, like I like to say. Let's make the world spin a little bit happier together. I'm in if you're in. You guys have a great night. I will see you a little bit further on down the road. Oh, Dr. Carl, you have a great night too. Dr. Carl Mitchin, everybody. A little bit further on down the road. 240. Yeah.